The things narcissists will use when they think you're too powerful to be controlled. Narcissists have trouble comprehending and accepting criticism because they are so wrapped up in their own emotions and the approval of others. In order to make up for their flaws and keep their dignity intact, narcissists may turn to dishonest means. If a narcissist fails, they may try to make up for it by whatever means necessary. They may use deception, manipulation, and even gaslighting to keep their victims under control and uphold their false sense of perfection. The narcissist will get more extreme in their attempts to keep power over the victim as their grip on the victim weakens. They may become more violent or threatening in their attempts to maintain control over their victims. Keep in mind that not everyone with narcissistic tendencies has a diagnosable mental illness. Narcissistic characteristics can be mild or severe, and they often coexist with other diseases or conditions of the mind. These characteristics are not pathological in and of themselves, but they grow so extreme that they disrupt a person's everyday life and interpersonal connections that they are labeled a disorder. It's also worth noting that not everyone with narcissistic tendencies poses a threat. Some people may have fewer or less severe symptoms of narcissism due to the fact that it is an illness with a spectrum. If you or someone you know is having trouble with narcissistic behavior, it's crucial to be aware of the warning signs and get help. Pathological narcissists, on the other hand, always exhibit these dangerous traits. Because that's how they always are, given their vengeful nature, they have good reason to fear for their safety if their secret were to become widely known. Hence, no one can ever claim to know what drives a narcissist. You may probably imagine how a narcissist would behave if they felt they'd lost control over you if you've ever met one or come from a narcissistic family. This is to be expected from a person with an insatiable need for praise, like a narcissist. They have no foundational knowledge upon which to build a perception of the world, since they do not know who they are. Some narcissists will turn to bully, threatening, intimidating, and humiliating people to acquire what they want, attention and acceptance, which can be unrealistic. They usually partake in undesirable behaviors to hide the jealousy and insecurity plaguing them. People who are uncaring, who ignore, reject, chastise, cheat, mock, etc., often find themselves alone. Narcissists have a disastrous effect on the relationships they are in. When they lose control over someone, they only have a few stock reactions at their disposal. A personal apology from them is a good first step, of course, but not because of the harm they've done to you. They say they're sorry, but lost an important supply line. To sum up, they don't express sincere remorse. They simply wish for everything to return to its previous state. Because they have been left behind, they are in a terrible state of mind. They feel ashamed since their secret has been revealed. Alternately, they can blame their nerves and say something like, "It's not me. It's my nervousness," before apologizing. "I don't know how to stop my illness. I used to be in control of my emotions, but this medicine has badly eroded that. In retrospect, I regret saying that I forgave you for the terrible hurt you caused me, and I ask for your forgiveness." A few of you might be able to relate to that sentence. After saying they're sorry, most narcissists go right back to being rude and unrepentant, sometimes within just a few days or weeks. Narcissists tend to return back to their destructive behaviors. Narcissists who are experts at what they do can easily shift strategies and come up with their tried and true antics. Same great flavor, now in a more convenient form. They can even try to argue with you instead of apologizing. Imagine a world where people begin to gray rock you by answering your queries with a single word, or the no contact policy, in which you simply stop replying to any inquiries. Texting or emailing a message like, "I've no idea what I've done to harm you, but I'll always love you," is a common approach to show regret for whatever happened and make a pledge of eternal love. Plus, there will almost probably be some indirect threats like, "All of society will learn the truth about you. However, I want you to know how seriously I consider us to be a couple." If you receive some kind of message or someone urges you to give them a second chance with regret or tears, you should do what you believe is right, but you should also think about your history with this person before making any rash judgments. Unfortunately, there is a limit to how many times you can hear, "I'm sorry," before you begin to ignore them. How many were there? Exactly? I'm sure the tally wasn't too high. Not that their apologies put an end to the cruelty, but it's not like it did. No, I don't think so, since narcissists don't change, not even after they apologize. The status quo is to be expected. as this has always been the case. Narcissists rarely, if ever, apologize when they are exposed as liars. They are either blind to or unwilling to face their own weaknesses, misjudgments, mistakes, or limits. Therefore, they will not admit to you or anyone else when they are wrong or when they have caused harm. Unfortunately, they will likely make many charges without providing adequate evidence. Some people will assert something you never said or did, or claim that you stated something you never did. Invent stories that will cause people to misinterpret your genuine intentions and personality. Long-term relationships with narcissists often result in one partner becoming skilled at manipulation and gaslighting the other. When the narcissist appears to have more people on their side than you have, you may start to wonder if you're losing your mind. Covert narcissists are pros at feigning modesty and regret when confronted with unpleasant situations. Additionally, they may reach out to others you know outside of the relationship as a genuine care for them gesture. Having control over one's immediate surroundings is of paramount importance to a narcissist. A narcissist might, for example, write you a message expressing worry or telling you about a new hobby they've taken up that would be of interest to your friend. Once accepted, the narcissist would be at home among his newfound friends. You can get in touch with people on a more personal level by sending them greeting cards, calling them, or inviting them to events. Narcissists are constantly trying to establish that, despite first perceptions to the contrary, they are decent people who deserve to be treated with dignity. Furthermore, the narcissist might benefit in a number of ways from this. Family and friends of the target are enlisted to keep an eye on them, termed flying monkeys in this context. That's right, the narcissist is keeping tabs on your every move so they can use it against you, keep abusing you, or exact revenge. The primary motivation for narcissist abusive behavior is to gain or keep control over the target. The narcissist employs this tactic to manage how others respond to them. Narcissism is harmful because it seeks to ruin the victim's psyche first, and then resorts to violence if that fails. Narcissists also abuse others by projecting their own insecurities onto them. Emotional blackmail is a common tactic used by narcissists to manipulate their victims into thinking their behavior is their fault. Some narcissists will try to acquire sympathy by taking advantage of other people's grief at the death of a loved one or friend. A daring action, if you ask me. They'll go to any length to make you feel sorry for them, and then use that sympathy to get what they want. The victim's groveling, moaning, rage, etc. will continue until they accept an apology. The phrase "they wet the bed and blame the blanket" comes to me whenever I need a metaphor to convey this. After that, they resort to personal attacks and petty behavior. You always seem to be the one with the problem, the narcissist can declare. In other words, you have no business trying to second-guess my thought processes. You have only yourself to blame for deciding you can't handle any more of what I do. Keep in mind that narcissists blame everyone else but themselves for their problems. Some people have an innate propensity to damage others or act aggressively. This is a sad reality. And in return, they might publish false information about you to hurt your reputation. They can withhold information, assets, or data if it is to their benefit. And they won't think twice about taking whatever measure they think would give them the advantage again, in order to show the way for their prey. They may try to form a trauma bond if they feel their lies, power, or terror crumbling. Narcissists frequently excuse their cruel behavior, convincing their victims that they have returned to normal. Someone who a narcissist has emotionally abused may feel hopeless, and as if they require constant reassurance from their tormentor. This reliance may be monetary or mental. For example, the presence of a child increases the likelihood that the couple will spend a lot of time together despite the drawbacks. Perhaps the victim has become too reliant on the abuser ever to free themselves. It's also possible that there's a physical explanation, like an illness. If there isn't already a trauma bond between you two, the narcissist will try to manufacture one by bringing up painful memories from both of your pasts. If one were already there, reinforcements would be dispatched to keep you from getting out or taking effective action. All of these behaviors are exhibited by narcissists as they begin to lose influence over their victims. Obviously, there is much more than that. Please express your thoughts on this topic in the space provided below. If you enjoyed this video and didn't want to miss any of my future uploads, please click the bell icon and subscribe to my channel. I regard it highly. Thanks.